a Purnell guitar by the English luthier Jake Fuller, who I guess in luthier terms is a fairly young luthier. You get guitar builders who've been making guitars for 40 years, 50 years, 35 years, whatever. I think Jake's been building for about 15 or something in that region. So relatively, with other luthiers, he's a young luthier. This guitar is not a young guitar in the sense that it seems to be crafted by someone who knows exactly what they're doing and has a lot of talent, a lot of craftsmanship. And this spruce apparently is being sourced from a retired cello maker, so it already has a sort of kind of more slightly darker, slightly honeyed sort of quality to it, which is different to if you got a brand new piece of Italian or Swiss or European spruce anyway and put it on your guitar, so it will give it a different character in the sound as well. I liked the guitar. I thought it was very different to some of the other guitars we've tried from David's collection, but what were your thoughts, Ian, generally about the instrument?
I think immediately when you pick it up and play a note on it, play a chord on it, the instrument has a very good projection. You really feel as if you're playing an instrument that has a very wide dynamic range. It has plenty of colour, sweetness in the treble, depth in the bass. It's a very, very good guitar, and it's hard to actually find any fault with it, and I think it would respond well to most repertoire.
I thought the clarity was the first thing that really came across to me. It's really clear, every string very, very clear what's happening. It's a bigger guitar than I'm used to, so in terms of the fretboard and the neck, it seems wider. For me, myself, I kind of like a slightly smaller guitar, just I find it easier to play. I don't have very big hands, so that's why. But I could imagine someone with slightly bigger hands having a lot of the problems that I would have, with a larger guitar. They would have those problems with a smaller guitar.
Yes,
so
that's right.
If they were to try my guitar, they would feel, no, this is far too small. I'm buzzing things, or sort of notes are colliding into each other. So I maybe had to stretch a bit more, but I could feel the separation and everything in terms of when I was playing a chord. It was very clear. Bit of a stretch for me, but that's only my hands,
Yes, I found that as well. But again, I've got a small hand.
Yeah.
For someone with big hands, it would be an ideal guitar physically.
Yeah. I'm teaching quite a lot, people that have larger hands, especially say older players that haven't necessarily played music from the very beginning of their life, or when they were a young person. So they've come to music later in life after doing something else with their hands as a trade or whatever, and it's really hard for them to play a smaller guitar. So something with a lot of space to manoeuvre your fingers into is really useful.
I think quite interestingly with this guitar, we both chose very different pieces, and you chose work by Ralph Towner, the American guitarist, and I played a fairly classic piece by Joaquin Malat, the Serenata Española, and you can't really get much more different, and I think that's a testimony to this guitar's suitability to all repertoire.
We've often played pieces from the same continent, or when we've tried a guitar for the first time in the collection, we've really kind of gone the same direction with something we wanted to show off. But I felt really, this sort of more American music quite you're playing in lots of different areas of the fingerboard, but you're also it's got a very relaxed sort of feel to it, and I thought it would really suit it. Very clear, you could hear everything that was going on, and then you chose a totally different piece, really from the Spanish classical idiom, and it's a testament to it being, like you said, versatile instrument. But then some instruments will never do that. Some instruments are so great in one area that it will always provoke the player to go down that one route.
Yes.
And that's a bit like, I would love to have 20 guitars in my collection, so that when I was playing one piece by one particular composer from one era of music, I could reel that guitar out, and then I could put that away and change the guitar that suited a completely contrasting type of repertoire. to have an instrument that can do pretty much everything you want to do well is the key to something really usable.
I think if people were looking for a guitar and they had a sort of shopping list, and they said, I need a concert guitar, and I need to be able to do this, I need to be able to do that, I need to have good balance, good projection, a good tonal range. This guitar really would tick all of the boxes.
Yeah.
It would be very suitable for a wide-ranging concert program.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.